In this video we'll be continuing on with our model of the character. We will be starting off with creating a finger and then connecting that up to a hand and back to the rest of the body that we've already created. Then all you will have to do with this, which I've shown in other videos, is go up to mesh and mirror it so we get the other side, and that will be this part of the model completed with the head model coming in a separate section which will connect to the body at a later date. So to begin with, we're just going to go to our front view and create a cylinder. Bring this up into position around where the finger is. So check on the top view that it is in roughly the right position. Thinking about where the hand's going to be and the fingers are going to be directing towards looking at the arm. Once you've got it roughly right, we're just going to go over to your channel box, scroll down to your inputs and your polycylinder. Now we're going to change the subdivisions axis to 8. It's important that you change this so it works out with the video that I'm doing. You can change this up and down for add more or less detail, but for this video we're going to use 8. Then we're going to rotate this and scale it into position. We're only making this first part of the finger. So I'm just going to scale this up, scale it out. Set it like this. So next section we're going to delete the faces on the end of the cylinder, so it's hollow. So we're going to go to cylinder and just grab these faces and delete. And delete. So your cylinder should be something like this to begin with. So going to the edge, we're going to select the edge leaf at the end. We're going to make this a bit smaller with the scale tool. The finger's going to get smaller as it goes down. Maybe reposition the other edge just so it's rotated a bit more. And then from the one that's going down the finger, we're just going to extrude, so hold shift and drag. The edge is selected. Position this, scale it in. Remember to scale in all directions, not just one. And then we're going to do this again. It's just before where the finger ends, so about here. Aim it down, scale that in. Then we are going to do one last extrude and scale this quite far in. So it's starting to curve the edge part. Now one thing with the finger is the nail usually stays quite flat at the top. So this needs to be up like this, and so if you get your fingertip, something like this. May take a little bit of tweaking. This sort of what you're looking for. Now go to your perspective view. And we're going to close this off. So we're going to select these two faces, not faces, edges, and we are going to bridge them. We're going to add a division, just one. So it gives it a cross like this. And then we're going to go to our vertices, target weld these ones at the side to the finger. Make sure you turn off your target weld. Grab the middle vertice, and then we're just going to pull that out slightly just so it's not flat at the end. Doesn't have to be much, just a little bit. Like so. So now, what we're looking at is something like this. We smooth that, press 3, simple finger. So we're just going to add some more detail on here. So where the knuckles are, so we've got one here and one here. Just going to select them and bevel them slightly. Bring the fraction down to about 0.1. Just add a segment. Maybe make the fraction a little bit bigger. 0.3. And then we're going to select the middle sections. Scale down. Let's do this one at a time. Scale this down and then push it up. And the same with the other one. Scale that down. Push that up. So you're getting something like this. So when we press 3 and smooth it, we get these nice curves of the finger. Where the finger bends. So now we've got one finger. I'm just going to go to the top view and extrude a couple of faces for where it's going to connect to the hand. So 2 at the bottom, 2 at the top. So because there's 8 edges, there should be 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, and 2 on each side. So we just need the top and bottom ones, and we're just going to extrude those out. Again, if you go to your front view, set this up. Reposition these. Okay, so once you've got this one finger, we then need to start duplicating this for the other fingers. But we need to make sure that they are spaced apart, positioned in the right direction, and they are the right scale for each finger, because each finger is slightly different. So we need to rotate this first one out a little bit. Just going to hold shift and drag to duplicate. Say it again. This one will be slightly longer. Scale it up a little bit. Make sure they're quite close together on the top view. The next one, the ring finger, we're just going to rotate this around. It's going to make it a lot easier to rig as well if they're positioned slightly offset to each other. And then the little finger. It's going to be quite a bit smaller. Okay, so it's something like this. Obviously it looks probably too big for the wrist, that's fine, we can always rescale it afterwards. I'd spend a bit of time getting this right, so it looks okay from the top, but actually you look at your hand, your little finger's slightly more rotated than that. Getting something like this. And I would actually just copy or duplicate the little finger. Move that to where the thumb is. We're going to sort out the thumb later, so just hold it over here for now, in a rough position. So, okay. So now you've got those roughly in position. Just ensure your fingers are in position, because that's what we're going to be working with. We are going to go to and select the first two. We're going to go up to Mesh and Combine. And then once they're combined, they're one object. So we can then start connecting this up. So I like to go to the perspective view to do this. So I'm going to select these side edges and bridge those. And then bridge these parts as well. So you may want to clean the vertices, pause and clean the vertices up here, or you may want to do it later. Too much problem. And what we're going to do this for the other fingers. So combine them all as one, and then just make sure these edges are bridged across to the finger next to them. So you should be left with something like this once they're bridged across. So if I smooth that, you'll see that we've now got the fingers all connected with the little partings in the middle, which is good. So next we need to start thinking about pulling this back and connecting it to the thumb and the wrist. So the big thing we're going to have here is too many edges. So if I just go down this top bit along, we have 11 edges on the top. Oops, sorry, 12 edges on the top. And then we'll have 12 on the bottom, so that's 24, without connecting the sides and things like that. That we have to get down to 10 at the wrist. So there's a few ways to do it. We're going to use a couple here. So one way is to bring out the edges and connect them together. So what I can do, I can bring these two out, pull the vertices back, and then bridge across here. Add a division, and then bridge across from here to here, there to there. So instead of us having 1, 2, 3, 4, we've actually only got 2 edges moving forwards. So that's halved it. Or we could do that with a similar thing, but with 3 to 1. So we can get that down to 1 instead of it being 3. which is probably the one we'll use at the bottom. And on the top, we're going to force the knuckles to show, in a sense. So we'll sort of pull these back. Again, you may want to clean this up first, just because you're not getting as many issues. So you sort of pull these ones back so we can grab the ones in the middle, extrude them, and then we can select the verts and target weld them. So connect this one to this one, this one to this one. And then make these sort of into diamond shapes. So then we know that when we fill these gaps, they're going to be quads. So just before I fill those in, we need to close this side part of the hand. So that's quite easy. All we need to do is select these two on the edges, bridge them, and add a division. We can pull this division out and then just target weld the verts together. So that's the sort of side of the little finger starting to connect to the hand. So again, here we need to extrude this edge. Put this back onto weld. So now this is extruding. Do this with both. Can select this vert and target weld to this one. And just be careful you don't have any vertices selected first. So again, we've got these diamonds appearing. I'm just going to go through and bridge these together. So I just select these two, bridge those, and bridge those. So as you can see, we're starting to get the knuckles to appear, and we've reduced this down to 4 at the moment. Be 5 with one more. So that's pretty good. So then with the bottom, we're going to use the other technique. So we're just going to pull these up. Yep. Actually, I'll do it this way. And then we're just going to take the vertices, the gapped ones, adding in, and then bridge across these, bridge there, and so forth. And you'll do this one to this one once we connected the thumb, and then we can close these up. Okay. So this will need some cleaning up afterwards. not going to do this too much at this point, but you can do this at the end, just to try and make the hand look more like a hand. So what we have so far, something like this. So check this. I'm going to pause this video here and move on with the film in the next one.